Hey guys, grab yourself a drink. It's another fun and at least a little informative video. So I have my orange drink here because now it's really hot in Jakarta, and I'm filming this on a Tuesday noon because it's the time of the week wherein my kids are in school extended because they have an extracurricular activity. So yes, it's me and my dog only. Me time. Anyway, sorry for that intro. I have here with me today to share with you my most dried and most wet inks in my collection. So I grabbed my son's toy for a while to put them in this very cute basket. As you can see, I think it's also in Amazon. I will share it with you. But yeah, I just find it cute and crafty. And also, I will also share with you the matching pens. I mean, most dry nibs when I use these inks with them. So I guess you already have a clue. I'm just trying to put them in frame. So let's begin with the most dry inks. In today's video, I'm not gonna swatch them with one by one just to show, because these inks are very common and I think I've featured them in my channel already for so long, like repeatedly, I guess. But because I do my monthly inking, currently ink pens and progress reports, so this is just a quick summary if you don't want to see those longer video. Let's begin with the wettest ink. So this peach basket here is the wettest in my collection. So first, let's begin with the third. I think the third on these three bottles is the Rohrer and Klinger Alt Gold Grün. This is the classic green I think every collector have, and this is the third one because I don't use this often this year, but I did I think once or twice, and I find this really wet with my Pelikan M400, the tortoise green shell. This is in fact EF nib, gold nib, 14 karat gold nib, but when I ink this up with this Alt Gold Grün, it's really wet that it can also be mistaken as a bold or if not medium nib. So these two combination, if you are the type to wanting a very thick, bold and wet ink flows, these two is a good combination. But I'm not telling you to buy this M400 if you don't have, but yeah, this ink is really wet. Second on my wettest ink lineup is the Pilot Yamabudo Iroshizuku ink. Guess what? Ink partnered this with this is just one waterfall of ink nib and ink combination. So this is really a very wet ink plus wet nib. This is the Pilot Elite Fine, okay, in burgundy color. So there's a black also for this. You might think like Pilot and really wet and fine. Yes, I can attest to that. These two is really a good combination. Again, if you're looking for that very smooth buttery writing, this is it, guys. Yamabudo. I don't have the big bottle yet. Once this is finished, I'm gonna buy that, but so far these two is my second wettest pair. Topping the top three, I know I have a lot of wet. I don't consider the rest. I will explain later. Let us just go on with our topmost is the what else Noodlers ink, or any Noodlers brand. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can comment down below all your comments, suggestions, even violent reactions. I don't mind. I'm just here to learn as well from you guys. So this ink is really wet. This is a blue black permanent ink, and although I'm inking my Lamy 2000 with the Tsukiyo, oh no, the blue one, but if this is one of my wettest pen as well. This is the Lamy nib, sorry, this is the Lamy 2000 in, see, it's just there, the blue stain, in extra fine, but still it writes really thick, especially if you use any Noodlers ink. So this is the top wettest combination in my lineup. So for those of you who are using Hobonichi books and Tomoe River paper 52 GSM or even 60, expect any ghosting, heavy ghosting, and bleed through with that. So let me just grab my drink. So we're done with the top 3 wettest ink. Moving on to our driest, very dry ink combination, pen and ink combination. So in my third on my collection, I feel this is the most dry. Third is this pen, Sailor. I know Sailor, this is EF as well, 14 karat gold nib. I know Sailors are really feedbacky. There's sometimes a scratchiness feel when you write, so don't ever ink them with dry. So I had this mistake of putting this before smoky quartz Pelikan. Of what I've researched before filming, Pelikan inks are also on the drier side. So if you combine these two, Sailors and these Pelikan inks, you will feel, if you are the type of writing, you want a buttery, or you know, you want a very smooth writer, you will not really get it from this. I know this is a 14 karat gold nib, but it's just my experience. I'm sure everybody has their own experience, but to me this is a dry combination. This pen, this Sailor Yukitsubaki, and this smoky quartz Pelikan ink. This is a brown ink, guys. So yeah, this is the third on my top 3. And then the second dry ink before I discovered the ink that I have this with right now is the Pilot Tsukiyo, or what is that brown, I keep forgetting. Anyway, this is, I tried putting these two together for you. I will card it up my video. I filmed one video that these two is really a bad combination. The Robert Oster Cafe Crema and my Pilot Custom 823 in fine. There is skipping, there is, you know, the frustration. This is a dry ink. Robert Oster as well is also in the drier side for me. I'm not sure with you guys, or I don't know, but these two is my second driest ink in my collection. Driest ink and pen combination. Now the topmost, this Kaweco olive green is the most attitude Kaweco nib I have in EF. I know Kaweco again is a hit or miss. There is, like, I have other colors that are really flowy, even though it's EF, but I guess I inked this with a drier ink. And yes, the Lady Tay is topping my most dry from Herbin, my most dry ink when I match these two. Just to correct you, just to correct myself, if I also ink this olive with, let's say, the dry wet ink, this is not that dry. So I guess it depends on the ink that you put. But again, this nib to me has some problems. I don't know if it needs tuning, but when I ink this with the Lady Tay, wrong. It's really dry. So that's just my experience, guys. Don't quote me on that. You can have other inks, you can explore other inks. That's why we have a currently ink. So that's how I get to know my pens. So that's it for my top 3 pens, dry, ink and pen combination, wet and dry. Now you might wonder why I didn't have diamine. Diamine is already considered as on the wetter side, so it's very common. I think every fountain pen collector knows that diamine have that very good ink quality, wherein especially this is very wet, writer's blood. So I didn't add them or include them in my top 3 anyway. It's really common. If you ask me, do you have an ink suggestion that is in moderate, not so dry and not so wet and dry so fast, I can only suggest Ferris wheel. I have 3 bottles of Ferris wheel, so I have only here 1 in my desk. This is the Peter Moss. It's a green shade. All of my Ferris wheel, when you start to write, it's buttery, especially if it's on the medium and bold side of the nibs, but it also dries so fast. So I also researched Ferris wheel inks are in the moderate side, not so dry and not so wet. So I think that's all I can share from my collection. I know there's Monteverde, Colorverse, Wearing Gold is one of my Grail inks. It's very difficult to get it here, and as well as the Lamy Mont Blancs. They are all on the, I think, wetter side, if I'm not mistaken. But for this video, it's just what I have at the moment. So I hope you learned from something from my quick and fun sharing for today's video, and let me know. I would really love to read your comments. I also learned a lot from you guys, and shout out to everyone who's always watching my video. Thank you so much. Yes, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really will help my channel, you know, if you even just click like. So yeah, I think that's it for today, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye. Time to finish my drink. Cheers.